Today's podcast is sponsored by Genesis, the most comprehensive and complete education for pool professionals. The Genesis Career Pathway for Pool Builders and Design Professionals puts your team on the right track to become masters of their trade.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. Today I'm chatting with Troy Franzen, president of Fluidra North America. Pleasure to have you with us today on the show, Troy.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So the big announcement, there's going to be some big changes coming down the pipe at Fluidra, and Troy agreed to come on the show today and talk to us a bit about what's going to be changing at Fluidra North America.
You bet. Yeah, in fact, last week we a brand new president of the business, a gentleman by the name of Lenny Rhodes, has joined the company and will pick up the reins and take control of Fluidra North America going forward, following my recent retirement announcement, which I'm excited about.
So our congratulations in order, Troy. Are you officially retired right now?
I am officially retired right now as we speak. This is my first week at home and not looking at my phone every 5 minutes, and so it's a different feeling. But yes, it's kind of official as we speak.
Well, that's terrific. I mean, 12 years with the company was a real achievement. I mean, you had a great run and some big milestones with Fluidra. You were with them a long time. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience with them?
It's been fantastic. Joe, I started in April of 2010, so just about 12 and a half years. And I look back and 12 and a half years seems like it's flown by, and we've had a lot of fun and expect the team to continue in the future. But yeah, 12 and a half years following 22 and a half years with my former company. So 35 years has kind of come and gone.
Yeah, it goes by in a hurry, and there's like so much going on with what you're doing. It's like blink and you miss it.
Yeah. In the last 3 years, as we know, our last 2.5 years kind of put all time in different kinds of context. So that helped. Yeah.
What changed in your life while you were president of Fluidra?
What changed in my life? Oh boy. Well, everybody changes for the good, but when I started with this company, I had 3, I would call young children, and now 12 and a half years later, I have 3 adult children that are off and all through school and working or in post-grad school. And so that's made me proud, and that's been a big change in my life. But, I've learned a ton about certainly the industry, learned a ton about our company, learned a ton about the pool business, and it's been a pleasure along the way.
Well, I know that you played a significant role in the transition from Zodiac to Fluidra. I mean, you were there at the very start. Can you talk to us a bit about that and some of the other acquisitions, mergers, and changes that you saw happen during your time with the company?
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, in 2010, I would say that, we were then still owned by Carlyle Private Equity. We were under the label or the company name of Zodiac Pool Systems. And I would say in 2010, if you go back and think about what occurred leading up to that time period with the housing market and of course the Great Recession that took place, coming through 9 and 10. So it was a dramatic time frame for not only the industry, but for the company. The company was, as I mentioned, owned by Carlyle. Changed dramatically as the economy kind of took a turn for the worse. So a lot of, I would call, underinvestment or no investment or stripping of costs was taking place when I came on board. I would say the company was a little bit rudderless, a little bit lacking in direction, and needed some more investment in some key areas, like customer service and quality and sales and so it was a difficult time. But on one hand, it was nice to come in when things things were at the bottom, so there's only one way to go, which was up. So we along with myself and Bruce Brooks, our current CEO, started about 9 months after I did. So we were of like mind, having worked together in the past, and we set our sights on building a great company and not thinking about the short term and not thinking about flipping a company, but we started thinking about building out a brand, building out a quality infrastructure, putting together a sales and customer service strategy that was focused on the customer, and really saying, hey, what do we want this company to be in the future? I can't believe as we look today. That was 12 and a half years ago, and the results speak for themselves.
Well, I mean, you've had a couple of big milestones there just over the last couple of years.
Yes.
Taylor Technologies, S.R. Smith, CMP. I mean, these are some big acquisitions there.
Yeah, we did. If you even go back before that, we had, we weren't doing a ton of acquisition work early on because we were still building out kind of foundation and fundamentals. But, we bought a company called Savvy Lights years ago, which kind of got us into that kind of nicheless LED technology. Had some early quality challenges with Savvy, but that acquisition kind of put us into the lighting category. Then we went on to buy a small company located out of Orange County called Grand Effects, which kind of got us into that high-end decorative fire and water feature space. And then, when the pandemic kicked in early 20 as you roll forward, when a lot of companies kind of went into hiding or thinking things were going to turn really bad, not only did the market start to turn for the good, but Fluidra doubled down and got very, very aggressive, and the board gave us a lot of support, not only financially, but gave us the leeway to go get aggressive, and started with CMP, custom molded products out of Atlanta, which kind of got us into a different vertical in spa OEM products, which we're excited about. Also expanded our offering in alternative sanitizers, white goods, some other products that fit in nicely with a Jandy and Polaris bundle. Then we moved on and eventually bought S.R. Smith up in Oregon. They got 4 locations throughout the United States, but again expanded us into a lot of the deck equipment like slides, rails, diving boards, and then also allowed us a nice baseline of business to expand into the commercial portfolio, and then wrapping up with Taylor Water Technologies out of Maryland, which still exists out of Maryland. It's been a nice little bolt-on to the family, currently run by Wade Beebe. Water testing, both test strips, been really nice add-on business, nice business in the industrial segment, nice business in retail. Early on was Built Right, a heat pump manufacturer out of Punta Gorda, Florida. My thoughts go out to the folks in Florida, as we had a facility that in Punta Gorda where we built all of our heat pumps that was virtually in the eye of the most recent storm, and thankfully everybody's okay, but they're still doing a little bit of recovery. But yes, it's been, Joe, an active period of acquisition, and the company has expanded and got quite a bigger footprint as a result of that activity over the years.
Well, these are some tremendous milestones, Troy. I mean, now that we're getting to the point in our conversation, I got to ask you, what made you decide to take this moment to retire?
Oh, boy. I don't know that there was one, aha moment, other than, for the longest time, when we were all naive and we came out of school, I always said I wanted to retire early. And I was naive enough to say when I was 21 that I'm going to retire when I'm 50. Mm-hmm. And in that regard, people have told me I'm a young retiree. But I tell them, well, my goal was to retire at 50. So in fact, I missed my goal, and I'm a little bit late. But I always wanted to take time to do the things that I want to do while I could do them on my own schedule, while I could do things, while I'm healthy, physically and mentally. I didn't want to. I love sports. So to use some of the sports analogies, I didn't want to go out on a low night. I didn't want to get carried out off the field in a stretcher, and I wanted to make it my decision. So when we had this incredible run of success, I wouldn't lie if I didn't say the last couple of years have been incredibly rewarding, but they also have been challenging. Mm-hmm. And especially when you throw the acquisition work on top of, just the day-to-day heavy lifting that took place to service our customers, it was time to take a break. And so I think on about late last year, Bruce and I started talking about succession planning and started talking about, as a public company, one of our jobs is to, be stewards for the future, not only for the now, but for the future. And how do you have a successful, transition of power, if you will, or a successful transition? So I said, I'm ready to take a break. Let's start thinking about a handoff. So that's kind of when this started, almost about 10 months ago. And I know it kind of just was recently announced, but in fact, in my mind, the plan has been, has been going on for some time now. So that's a long answer to maybe a short question. But
yeah, no, that's good. So Lenny Rhodes is going to be moving into your role. His previous role was CEO for Big Ass Fans. I saw he was VP at Husqvarna, and before that, director of marketing for Electrolux. I mean, this is kind of an unexpected move, bringing in a company outsider to the role. What was the strategy behind that decision to look outside the organization?
Well, some people may call that an unexpected move or a non-conventional move, but I actually came from outside the industry when I came. So
yeah, you were a Black & Decker guy, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't know if the question was, he's not coming from within or he's not coming from the pool space, but he's got an incredible background. I think I think if you look at the companies he's worked for, Electrolux, Husqvarna, Big Ass Fans, he hasn't necessarily worked in the pool space, but he's worked in very similar kind of channel and industries where dealing with the professional or dealing with the trade, working through distribution primarily is in his background. So I think Bruce thought that was an important aspect. We wanted someone that would bring, a new perspective, diversity of thought, diversity of ideas, if you will. So I think that's why we landed on Lenny, and I'm pretty excited. I've spent a lot of time with him, and in fact, he just started the last couple of weeks, and we spent a lot of time together. And I think the company's going to be in fantastic hands.
Well, usually when there's a change at the top, Troy, there's a lot more change coming. I mean, what does a change in leadership look like for the rest of the executive organization as well as the rank and file at Fluidra in North America?
I don't, Joe, one of the things I'm probably most proud of is, people have asked, what are you proud of, or, where you feel good about what you've left behind. And I think that's the team, the leadership team we have in place. I think our leadership team, I remember when I started with this company 12 years ago, formerly Zodiac and now Fluidra, we were always kind of the green, the inexperienced, the kind of the rudderless management team. And we have kind of turned the corner. And I would say over the last 5 to 7 years have been kind of the consistent, solid leadership, solid strategic plan. We've been kind of the stable group in the industry. So I'm very pleased and proud of the team we have in place. All of the leaders, from the gentleman who runs our sales to, we've added some new people to the team recently, but we've got a really solid, stable, mature executive leadership team. And frankly, I don't anticipate, any changes in leadership.
Okay. One question that I wanted to ask you was, we talked a lot about what is going on in the economy over the past year. Right now, we're facing rising inflation, concerns of a recession. Some say we're already in one. Lenny Rhodes is stepping in a particularly challenging time. What advice, as parting president, were you able to offer Lenny about what obstacles lie ahead?
I think the industry is, I started in 2010, so I kind of started, I don't want to say a similar time period, but because I don't think what's going on now is going to have the same curve or the same kind of decline that occurred in 8, 9, and 10. But certainly we are in a period of softening. We can debate whether we're in or heading towards a recession, as you stated. But I think the fundamentals are sound, and my advice to him has been really good industry, really good company with kind of a stable strategy, a stable group of leadership. Don't overreact. Don't do anything in the short term that'll impact a business that's really stable. So, of course, he'll have his own leadership style and he'll have his own approaches, but don't let the short term media cycle or the short term of what's going on with the economy affect what's a pretty good organization and a pretty good strategy. So kind of stay the course, look for ways to improve, look for ways to, drive more efficiency, look for unique ways to go to market, but don't overreact on a short-term economical downturn.
Sure. What are your plans now? What involvement, if any, do you plan to maintain with Fluidra as you exit the organization?
I plan on, on a personal note, I plan on taking a break and, as I mentioned, traveling with my wife personally and spending some time with my 3 grown children. I'd love to get involved with, volunteer charity work in my community. I do intend to help Bruce and the board and the leadership team in any way possible. If there's any future consulting, future outside work that they need help, I don't know, maybe it's due diligence if we were to look at any future acquisitions. But I've, kind of signed on to help as any special projects come along, and in the very short term, help Lenny steer the way. And if any questions he has or any, things he needs to unearth or any doors he needs to open, I'm happy to help because it's in mine and everybody's best interest to, I think the best has yet to come for the company, although there's a little bit of a soft spot here in the economy. The future is really, really bright. And, I think you're going to see big things out of Fluidra in the future. So.
Well, thank you, Troy. Congratulations on your retirement. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today on the show.
Thank you very much. I wish you guys the best as well, and look forward to watching you guys continue to succeed.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Genesis, the leading education program for pool builders and design professionals. Genesis and the PHTA are creating better career pathways for builders to become masters of their trade. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.